So let us close our eyes for a minute and think of the center of our consciousness, center of our awareness, where all the external differences dissolve. One can feel the unity of existence, and that unity is also the bliss absolute. This core of our being is unchanging. It is same in everyone. Since this is the source of all bliss, it is the goal that we should strive for. When we open the eyes, we still see the one appearing as many. The many are not really different from each other. Like we see many animal crackers, they are different in shape, and according to the shapes they get the names. But are they actually different? No, just abstract the shapes and you see the oneness. So, a meditative person, even with open eyes, feels this oneness and therefore does not get upset or angry, because it is one only appearing as many. So, while deals with the differences, like I will not call you by some other name, I know you are Gary. I won't say you are Charles, because although all are same, but yet as a variety you have your particulars. You have your particular shape, your age, your gender, your profession, your qualifications, all are different from that of Charles or different from the Swami. But when you abstract or discard the shapes, now the differences are not there. It is. So, we deal with differences when we see them, but yet remain aware that they are just superficial. That removes all the angry feelings in us or depression. It is because we are connected to the source of bliss and well-being. So, that is the idea in meditation. One prayer that we say, it is an age-old, maybe 5,000 years old prayer that Hindus recite. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishvavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The meaning is, may we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we work together with vigor. May our study make us illumined. And may there be no hatred amongst us. So, this prayer is very good. You must have noticed the repeated idea there is togetherness. Togetherness is a precursor of oneness. Like when we are in an assembly, we feel one. Our assembly, our class, our group. Now we are many, but it is we. So that makes for unity. It is just one step below unity. Yeah.
It's the path to unity.
Yeah, path to unity. Very correctly put.
So, is that the goal of Vedanta?
Yes. Vedanta goal is described by the great Vedanta teacher Shankaracharya, that it is a total cessation of suffering and experiencing the ultimate infinite bliss. That is the goal of Vedanta. According to Vedanta, all human beings strive for this. So this is not a goal that is kind of prescribed. This is what naturally human beings are seeking for.
Every single human being?
Every single being. Nobody says that, oh, I want more suffering. Nobody says that I don't want happiness. So therefore, this becomes a natural goal. Not that somebody has assigned an objective or a purpose or a goal, but this is an automatic, natural goal that human beings strive for, whether correctly or incorrectly, in the right manner or wrong manner. So Vedanta shows them the best way to reach it. And that is by seeing clearly, understanding things clearly in the light of reason and our experience. It is, Vedanta is critic of experience, not like Kant, which is critic of pure reason or practical reason. Vedanta is analysis into our experience. So, from experience we learn. So, the teachers of Vedanta try to show us that what experience you are having, what have you done, look at your past, what have you been doing, and did you achieve the desired results, desired objectives, did you become happier than what you were? So, analyze. And then learn from that analysis and chalk out the course for your future.
Yeah. In that way, I see, and you described it very well, yoga as a science. It's like a trial and error for the human experience.
Yes, yoga, I would better call it. It certainly is scientific, but it is more a technology. The difference in science and technology is science gives the pure understanding or concepts are presented in science. Technology makes use of that in enriching one's life. So that is how yoga, what you said, that science is understanding the principles of Vedanta. And yoga is to convert them into practical, tangible, practical experience,
I see. Mm-hmm.
So that is how these two are together.
Mm-hmm.
If you see the most popular text of Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, every chapter has that colophon, that it says that what is Bhagavad Gita? Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. Means it is the wisdom, the knowledge about the absolute truth, and Yoga Shastra, the technology of experiencing and practicing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is very important.
Mm-hmm. So, what are the practices?
The practices are to train our body, our mind, and our intellect.
Mm-hmm. What would you
As they
recommend?
say
Sorry, go ahead.
in this pedagogy, 3H, hand, heart, and head. The training of these means your faculty of work is to be given a proper turn. It is called yoga of action. Then your feelings also, and that is very important aspect for most of us, because we get life is pulled according to how we feel.
Yeah.
Feelings is the driving force for most of us. So the feelings have to be turned towards the ideal. And then intellect, our faculty of discernment. What is right, what is not right. What is permanent, what is impermanent. What gives me happiness, what makes me unhappy.
Yeah.
One has to discern it.
Mm-hmm.
What is I and what is not I.
Mm-hmm.
Discern that. So this is called the yoga of knowledge. What I earlier told, feelings, turning the feelings, is the yoga of devotion, or in Sanskrit, bhakti yoga.
Yeah.
And then this yoga of discernment is the jnana yoga, yoga of knowledge. Then we practice another yoga which actually is a common part of all these, that is called the yoga of concentration and control. That we must establish control on our limbs, control on our mind. Then only we will be able to use this instrument.
Yeah.
That yesterday I was at the Central Falls High School. It's a public school, and probably the only public school that invites a Swami. So I was telling the idea in meditation that it is to learn to control our body and mind. It is like, if you want to use the car, you should be controlling your car.
Yeah.
If not, what will happen? And the students immediately said, the car will crash if you lose the control of the car. So I said, that is what happens if our mind is not under our control.
It drives us.
Yeah, it drives us. So we become thus crazy.
Yeah.
It is therefore to bring that under our control. That is a separate discipline of yoga, is called Raja Yoga. In some texts, the nomenclatures are a little different. And what is practiced these days in the name of yoga, like doing some postures and all, that is nothing bad about it. It is very good. It helps us to have a good, balanced physical health.
Yeah.
But in none of our scriptures this has been called yoga, that doing various postures, that is not called yoga.
It's asana.
Asana, yeah. Asana, Patanjali, the most respected teacher of yoga, he defines asana as sthira sukham asanam, means a stable and comfortable pose to sit in for meditation.
Yeah.
So it is not that you stand on your head or put one leg like this and another leg like this. Those things are not spoken at all in any of our ancient texts.
Yeah.
So it is some comparatively very modern texts, they have dealt with those and very nicely, like Ghirand Samhita and so forth. So it is, but yoga basically means what you understand and gets converted into your experience. You learned that how to play piano by reading a book. Now practice,
Yeah.
Just reading a book on piano doesn't make you an expert pianist. So it's like that.
I see. So, where would you recommend to somebody that has no idea about the whole yogic path and the different modalities that you just described? Where would you recommend somebody start on this path? Would you say meditation?
Well, meditation depends on the temperament of that person. All will not be fitted into this meditation pattern. There are people, constitutionally they want to work. So we would tell them, okay, work with devotion.
Yeah. Work for the unity.
Work for the unity.
Yeah.
Work to help others. Work without getting caught into the work.
Yeah. Without the fruits of the work, right?
Yeah. So some people will find that more beneficial. Some people will find that, pray to Lord, offer all your love to God, because that is their constitution.
Yeah.
They are more driven by feelings. So offer your feelings. Instead of offering those feelings to the transient objects, offer it to the unchanging, ever present, your constant companion, the God.
I see.
Yeah. And some people, they would like to, meditate and that try to concentrate on the workings of the mind, try to control and all that. There are some like that. Some will be more interested in philosophy, that okay, come on, let us analyze what is real and what is not real.
Yeah.
What is just evanescent and what is permanent. So now if they understand that, now they have to put it into from intellectual understanding to getting it as a deep conviction. Because that will change life. And that deep conviction becomes the experience.
Yeah.
So this is how there are different types of people. Some like, say, for example, lot of music.
Yeah.
Now they may not like meditation that much. They want, even while meditating, some soothing meditative music to go on. So for them, okay, think of the deep sound within. The levels of sound that sound which is unstruck sound, which can never be heard by the ears, but it goes on.
The Om.
Oh, the Om. Om is uttered, but there is the uttered or unutterable aspect of every sound. Learning to listen the music of silence. If we have to put it in a somewhat mystical way, then learning to listen to silence. So a person interested in music can be told, okay, train yourself to listen to this silence, because that is what is real music.
Yeah.
The sound provides a frame to the silence, like a picture frame, So you should be seeing the picture, not the frame.
Yeah.
The frame highlights the picture. So similarly, the sound highlights the silence.
That's good.
Yeah. So some people would be benefited by that kind of meditation. It is called Nada Yoga. Nada means sound.
That's interesting. And it's to almost listen to that which listens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listening to that which listens. You are very correct there.
But either way, all paths lead to the same oneness.
Same goal. Yeah, same oneness. One cannot choose the path. Means willingly one cannot choose the path. The constitution of a person will determine the path.
Yeah.
So it is like you cannot choose the medicine. The doctor prescribes looking at your health issues. The doctor prescribes, no, I like to eat this medicine. That doesn't work, So
based upon our karma?
Yeah, karma, or that how your it is difficult to put it in exact words, but how your temperament is.
Yeah.
It is accordingly you should be guided on a path. That is why there is the importance of guru, the spiritual teacher, who provides you with the proper path.
The guide?
Like the guide.
Yeah.
Like GPS. So GPS, it tells you take left turn, take right turn and all that.
Yeah.
So here in spiritual life, GPS means Guru Positioning System.
That's good. And sometimes the guru, or maybe all times, can guide you better than you can, right? Almost like fill in the gaps.
Exactly.
Do you have have you ever had an embodied guru? Like a master?
Yeah, I had a guru.
Yeah, well, you still do. Right?
Yeah, it is true. It is, although the one who initiated me on this path, he passed away. But his presence is with me and it keeps on guiding me. Yeah. So there are many whom I initiated, and I tell them that your actual guru is Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and Vivekananda. It is, I am their instrument.
Yeah.
So even if this instrument falls off or falters, doesn't mean that they have no guide. Their guide will be always with them. So it is that is very important.
Yeah. And it's always ultimately the guru is Krishna, right?
Guru?
Guru, the guru with a capital G is Krishna, right?
Ramakrishna in our order. We say Ramakrishna.
Or would Ramakrishna say his guru is Krishna?
No.
No?
Ramakrishna and Krishna are same.
I see.
The incarnations
is,
of
yeah.
God,
Mm-hmm.
We call that as incarnations of God.
Mm-hmm.
God, the absolute, the all-pervading.
As Christians would see Jesus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The difference is that in Christianity, it is once for all.
Once for all? What do you mean?
Means once only the God incarnated
Oh, just Jesus.
as Jesus.
Yeah, I see.
That is, and that's done for the whole span of time.
Yeah.
That is only the one particular moment. Hindus say no, that from time to time, when the situation changes, the society changes, the teachings have to be again re-established. And so God takes human form again and again. Krishna was one of them. Like before Krishna, a few thousand years ago, Rama was there. Rama, then Krishna, then there was Buddha,
Yep.
then Shankaracharya. They were all God incarnations.
Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jesus Christ, and so forth, that they all were the teachers to mankind by showing them, as Jesus puts it very beautifully, I am the goal, I am the way. In such incarnations of God, you see the goal. You don't have to ask. You just experience it, that this is the goal.
Yeah.
And how they lead their life becomes the path also. So, that is how the incarnations of God are the great teachers. Sri Ramakrishna is the incarnation in present times for the whole world, because he practiced all different religions and then proved beyond all doubts that all these paths lead to the same goal. So he also showed in his life that God realization is the only goal of life, and that can be achieved. In this skeptical age, people cannot have faith unless they see the demonstration.
Yeah. Seeing is believing.
Yeah, seeing is believing, correct. So, Sri Ramakrishna showed that God can be seen.
But not seen, right?
It is
in the colloquial sense of seeing.
Well, that is exactly correct what you said. It is seeing without any instruments. Our eyes and mind and our other sense organs, they are all instruments. And they do not generate the perception or vision, whatever you may call experience. They only bring it according to their capabilities. But God can be seen after throwing away all this mediacy. The mediacy creates distortions also. Like one day I was driving, and after a while I looked at the dashboard. So why it is all so dark today? It is something went wrong there in the electric thing. Why it is not lighting up? And I am not able to see at what speed I am driving and anything. What is yeah? So then I realized I had dark glasses on my eyes. So I forgot all about it. So it is now those glasses were creating the distortion.
Yeah.
So our eyes, our ears, all our sense organs,
Our desires.
Huh?
Our desires.
What did you say?
Our desires.
Our desires, they function through them.
Mm-hmm.
So they create distortions.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they are all taken out, then one experiences the presence of God
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It is like this, that if you are, say, watching a movie. Now, suppose a little child is sitting by your side, and the child has heard that there is a screen on which the pictures are shown. But the movie is going on, and then the child says, "Where is the screen?" Now, how can you show the screen?
Because they're involved in the movie too much, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it is true. Yeah. So it is, and you cannot see. So when the movie is over, you say, "See, hey, do you see now? Oh, laddie, see, that's the screen."
Mm-hmm.
And that alone was real anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how you see the God, the reality that pervades everything.
It's taking a step back, right? A metaphorical step back.
Step back.
Yeah.
That which pervades everything, like the screen was pervading every picture in the movie. Every picture was pervaded by the screen.
Yeah.
So that divine pervades everything.
We just cloud it, right?
Yeah.
We do it to ourselves, essentially.
Yeah, we do it to ourselves.
So, what holds us back the most? I know I've heard you say Ramakrishna says is greed and lust. Would you say that's the top two things that hold us back from being able to see the
yes,
the
lust and greed. Yeah, that lust and greed does not let our thinking faculty function. Means it thinks, but it doesn't overpower our ignorant behavior. It thinks, but it stops to, short of pushing that conclusions of the thinking to make it practical.
What do you mean?
That is, you see, thinking can easily tell you are not the body.
I see. So yeah, when you get caught up in the base level, it gets you caught in thinking.
Yeah, so you are not able to think then.
Yeah.
Do you get the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is our desires, and then our running after the so-called sense pleasures, that although they keep on bringing us more and more suffering, more and more bondage,
keep trying.
We refuse to learn, I was telling that you must have seen in the kitchen all the fruit flies.
Yeah.
A lot of them. So somebody brought an electronic trap, that radiation, and then they get caught and then they get stuck and so forth. But the fruit flies probably guessed what it is and they were not going near it at all. So I said, look, they are much wiser than human beings. And we go and get trapped every now and then in everything.
Now, would you say that is the purpose? I don't know if even purpose is the right word, but our suffering brings us out of our suffering, essentially. So it's until we get the message, until we can see beyond the temporary comings and goings of the sense pleasures and the suffering that it brings.
Yes, that is what Buddha did.
Yeah.
But commonly what happens with most of us is that we suffer, but we do not reason enough to find the cause of the suffering.
Yeah.
we think that, oh, I don't have enough money and that is the cause of suffering.
So let me get more money.
Let me get more money.
Because the suffering is like the symptom, right?
Suffering is correct, It is the symptom. Suffering, or more importantly, pain. Pain is the indicator of the malady within.
Yeah.
So, the body gives you an indication that, oh, by giving you pain, that something is wrong. So, the suffering in the world should awaken us.
Yeah.
But it takes aeons to get awakened.
Yeah, long time, right?
Long time.
Yeah. It's a turning point, I feel like, on the path to see suffering actually as grace in that way.
That is true.
Because it's actually what's taking us, like it may seem like if you do look at it just at the symptom level, like so much darkness, so much woe in the world, but it's actually leading us to a better age, a better life altogether.
Yes. From that point of view, you are right that suffering shows us the proper path. It is, we suffer and then that suffering tells us, hey, what you were doing was not right. So,
like a slap on the wrist.
Right. On the knuckles you get a blow, then you start thinking about it. That is what happens to Buddha when he looked at all these sufferings.
Yeah.
He said, no, I don't want any of that. It is. So, but it takes time for most people to do that. Some people, fortunately, by the grace of God, do it just like that.
Yeah.
There are these sayings, that how people learn. Some people do not even experience themselves. They see that a fellow walking ahead of them and they falls in the ditch. So they become aware that there is a ditch there, and so they don't fall.
Yeah.
Some themselves fall and learn, oh, I should have been more careful. Some do not learn even after having repeated experiences. There is a nice story, sometimes I tell it in the class. I had read it in one of our magazines, that a man in those somewhat say olden days, there were those phones, that you have to lift, that black handsets, and
the olden days.
So olden days. So, and people used to keep that near their bedside.
Yep.
So one man was visited by his friend, and the friend, he asked this man, oh, why your left ear is black like this here? He said, what happened, this is early morning. I was still not properly awake, still in a kind of daze. And then the phone rang. And instead of holding the receiver and putting it to the ear, I put the hot iron and put it there. Oh, that is why it is black. Oh, but then why the other side is black too? Oh, that fellow called again, that fool called again. So, some are like that. Even after repeatedly committing the folly, refuse to learn.
Yeah.
So, that is how they have to go through the experience a few times, maybe many times. So, because everybody doesn't have the same learning capacity.
Yeah.
They differ. In a class, you see, in a class of say 50 students, the teacher is teaching the same thing, but everybody grasps differently.
Mm-hmm.
Some grasp quickly, some after being told a few times, then they can grasp. Some misunderstand.
Yeah, right. But it's all the same curriculum.
Yeah, same curriculum, same teacher,
Yeah.
same person is talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yet this is the variety, So
Yeah.
that is how some people learn fast. That they just heard from the teacher, you are divine, you are that. That's enough for them. They have realized the truth right then and there, just by hearing once. Others, even after repeatedly hearing, do not understand. So they have to do more practice, more thinking, more physical work, and so forth, more ritualistic worships. So it is all very good because we are at different levels. So it's like that.
Yeah. All paths lead to the same
That is,
destination.
because all paths are needed also.
Yeah.
Because people have different starting points, different habits, and different upbringing, and different socio-economic situations.
Yeah.
So the paths have to be different. One very good analogy given is like you have a circle. Now there are infinitely many points on the circumference and one center though. Center is one. So for all the points on the circumference, the goal is the center.
That's good. Wow.
But the paths are going to be different according to that red eye.
Yeah.
That particular red eye will be followed by that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's so simple.
So simple,
Yeah.
So infinitely many paths. Although say we make broad classifications. Say somebody is Jewish, somebody is Christian.
Yep.
They are just broad divisions. No two Jews will be following the same actual path.
Yeah.
They will have, according to their constitution, they will understand the Torah, the other holy scriptures, and follow accordingly. It is the Christians, see, so many different sects, different paths.
Yep.
No two Christians will be going on the same way. Even if they are both Catholics, they will have again, you are from this order, I am from this order.
Yeah.
Differences will be there. So somebody was telling me yesterday, just close by in the same town, two Catholic churches right here in East Providence. That one is Loreto Cathedral and another is Matthew Cathedral. So it is now where you go, you follow that, you follow that. The central idea of Christianity will be there, but still there will be difference in everybody's approach, So,
yeah. That's so good, the circle.
Yeah,
I'm gonna remember that one.
Yeah, it is a beautiful analogy. I like it.
So we essentially, as in our bodies, all 8 billion, whatever amount of human beings there are, we are the different points on the circle.
On the circle.
And the center is God.
Center is God.
That's it. Summing it up right there.
Yeah, very beautiful idea.
Yeah. Wow, this is good.
It was spoken of by Swami Yogatmananda. That
he said the circle?
Yeah, he gave this analogy.
Wow. This is good.
Swami Yogatmananda is, you can say, the first Hindu monk who came here to preach.
And he is a disciple of Ramakrishna?
He is the chief disciple of Sri Ramakrishna.
Mm-hmm.
So he always thought that Sri Ramakrishna is the voice. He is lending voice to Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, that's all.
Yeah.
So he said, I am not here to convert anybody to Hinduism. I want all different religions to flourish.
Yep.
Each person, a Christian should become a better Christian. A Hindu should become a better Hindu. And so forth,
Yeah.
And becoming better means follow the path.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the Christianity, Hinduism, these, that, all paths are there.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't help you if you don't want to follow it.
Yeah. That's the most important
important part.
That's what I feel as though gets lost in translation, whether you want to believe in Christianity.
Yeah.
Buddhism.
That part gets lost.
Yeah.
And otherwise what happens is religion is used for fighting, battling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can see.
Which is the complete opposite.
Complete opposite.
It's like,
instead of bringing peace, the religion is bringing all the wars and such stuff.
Yeah. So strange.
Yes. And it is going on even now in the days, what we say, now people are more educated. No use of that kind of education.
Yeah. You know.
They are educated means now they have weapons which can kill 100,000 in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Earlier they were not developed, means they could kill only a few.
Yeah, right.
Now with development, this is the result.
Mm-hmm.
So unless we see this truth, that all different people, different religions, if you follow, we will meet. And therefore, you will notice these things, that those who actually follow and start experiencing God, they are unanimous. They have no discord.
What do you mean by that?
Means Jesus and Buddha will not fight amongst each other.
Oh, I got you.
They will be united,
Yeah. Yeah, so even amongst the differences, they'll see the similarity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I therefore give classes on mysticism every summer. About 7-8 classes during our summer time. So every Tuesday there is a mysticism class in July and August. So why I take it is to show that mystics of different faiths like Rumi or Hafiz, or we took up for 2 years this Meister Eckhart. Then other Christian mystic who has not left his name, who wrote the wonderful treatise, Cloud of Unknowing. Then last year and this year also we took up Bodhicharya Avatara, a great Buddhist text. Some years we took up Taoism, various beautiful Tao texts. So there you can see that they speak the same language.
The truth is one?
Truth is one.
That's it.
You got it, yeah.
And the wise call it by many names.
That's a good question. Why is it called with many names? Because variety is
the spice of life.
Spice of life.
Yeah.
Exactly. The variety is what we deal with.
Yeah.
And therefore, things are separate. You brought a very important philosophical point, mostly without intending. You were probably not intending to get into much philosophy here. of the name. What is name?
What is name?
Yeah, what is a name? That gives something, although changing, the feeling that it is same. Like,
What do you mean?
yeah, for example, Gary or Swami.
Oh.
See, Gary, 2-month-old Gary. Did that Gary, that picture of 2-month-old Gary, can he put now on his driving license?
I see.
No.
I see. No.
But then you will say the same Gary.
Yes. Still
Why?
Gary.
Still there. Same red socks. Now what is same there? The players change all the time. The owners change. The coaches change.
It's the same.
Even the stadium is changed, I heard. Everything changes. But what gives this the illusion of continuity?
The name.
The name. That is why names become very important.
Interesting. That is interesting. But it's also not to get caught up on the name. It's to know the name, right? But also what the name stands for.
Yeah, that is true. But the very philosophy of name is very interesting. That it gives the illusory feeling of something not changing.
Yeah. But it's illusion.
And it is illusion, but there is the illusion has some truth behind it.
Yeah.
That it is God is unchanging.
Yeah.
Everything like the screen that I was telling you about in the movie, that remains unchanging. It is unchanged. You can see a big fire on the movie. Like one movie that I had seen in my, college days, Towering Inferno. It's all fire. It was so powerful a shooting of that scene that people could not sleep for days, especially those who were staying in high-rise buildings. All such fire. But the screen didn't become even hot.
Yeah.
That remains unchanging.
That's the essence.
That is what is conveyed by the names.
I see. Wow.
So name gives the sense of stability.
Interesting.
Unchanging. That is why repeat the name of God. Why in almost all religions you have rosaries,
Yeah.
You repeat the name of God or repeat a prayer. Why? Because that repetition of name, the inherent power in name will get revealed to you by doing that practice.
Yeah.
So, because name is very important. A great saint writes that, look, both name and form are great. But God and God's name, both are great. But I respect God's name even more than God. Because God's name has the power to bring God to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't work other way.
Yeah.
So, like if I know name, I have probably not seen you. But I know this person, Gary, is somewhere here. Then I shout, who is Gary? And then the Gary looks behind that. So I can get to Gary, that person, by knowing the name.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Now, is there something special about the names of Sanskrit that bring you to God?
There is, nothing very special about it. Any language will do.
Whatever
you are grown up with, whatever language you are comfortable with, you can use that. Like in Christianity, somebody will say Jesus, somebody will say Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think they're all reminders. All teachings are a reminder. You
That,
know?
yeah, especially that Yahweh, that Jewish philosophy is so rich in that. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
We had actually in that mysticism classes, 2-3 times we studied Kabbalah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I love Kabbalah.
Yeah, something special about that.
Yeah. So there it says that it is beyond name. And therefore Yahweh is not a name to be uttered.
Too late. We already said it.
Yeah, it is. No, we say that, but the meaning is that it is beyond, the reality is beyond name.
Yeah.
So,
the Brahman.
Brahman, that is again a name, Brahman.
Yeah.
So, by name you should go to nameless.
It's the name for the nameless.
Name for the nameless. Like even say Swami, it's a name, but what you refer to is nameless.
Yeah. Is that what Swami means? Like, what is the
No, it is for any name I am saying. By name, it is an external epithet.
Yeah.
But the reality is nameless.
Yep. Which is inside you, me, all of us.
All of us.
All of us. It's just not to get lost at the...
Correct.
Just the name.
Yeah.
What it stands for.
So that is it, you know.
That's it. What time is it?
It is now 2:23.
Want to start to wrap this thing up?
Okay, yeah.
Well, let me just ask you this before we wrap
Conclude.
this up. Yeah, before we conclude. Once we recognize this nameless reality, right? This that we all encompass, the oneness of all, right? That which goes by many names. Is there like a different inclination in one's will here? You know, like rather than like an ego will, there's some kind of universal will of the logos, you could say, that comes about from, knowing or remembering of what you really are.
You are right, but it is difficult to specify that. One characteristic that goes with it is that it works for the true welfare of all.
Yeah.
Without any hatred towards anybody.
Yeah.
So that is one characteristic that goes with it. But the nature of that will is very, very difficult, well nigh impossible for ordinary people to guess also. It is, their will cannot be understood by us, you know.
Yeah.
Because our wills are caught with our desires.
Yeah.
So, and our desires differ. So, your will may be different from my will. There is a funny story that a man, it is olden times, that was going in a bus, and then another man came and sat by his side who had a long beard. And this man asked him, "Have you lost your bedsheet?" Now this man got, you can imagine, so surprised at this sudden question. This stranger asking me this funny question, have you lost your bedsheet? Why, what are you asking? He said, look, I am a very poor man. So once I had lost my napkin. So to buy another napkin, I didn't have money. So I didn't shave for 4 days so that I can keep some money aside to get one napkin. Now I see you are having such a long beard. So not a napkin, you must have lost a bedsheet.
Okay. Wow.
So that imagines the motives of other.
Yeah, I see. Mm-hmm.
So, therefore, to imagine the will of such person is so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no point in even thinking about it.
No point in
on it.
even thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. No point in even asking about it. I see.
But good. It was a nice discussion with you.
For sure.
You have very good questions, and
thank you.
Your thought process is very logical, scientific, and probing. You know what is called
probing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interviewer has to have that probing questions.
Yeah.
And then the answers come out.
Exactly. Yeah. I try to get the answers out of people.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that, the honeycomb, you need to know how to poke the honeycomb so that the honey comes out.
Yeah. That's good.
Those who do not know, when they poke, only the bees come out and sting that fellow.
Got to know how to poke, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, hey, on that note, that's great. On that note, I thank you. Appreciate you for coming on here.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for sharing your wisdom, sharing your time with me and everybody in the future. I don't know what else to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaste, everybody. Namaskar.